Hello there, welcome back once again. We sincerely apologize for that break in transmission. It was due to some circumstances beyond our control. As I said before we went on that break, we have an array of newspapers on our menu. And of course, as usual on the program, we'd like to start off with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. Let's have leadership on the screen. Let's see what leadership is saying this Wednesday, July 26, 2023. Leadership says Naira free float. Manufacturers labor seek CBN intervention. Naira free float. Manufacturers labor seek CBN intervention. Say economy lacks fundamentals for policy. Naira hits 870 naira for a dollar. Apex Bank moves to tackle dollar shortage, raises MPR to 18.75%. Dollar exchange rate 2019 to 2023, official market rate and parallel market rate. We have an infogram on that on leadership cover this Wednesday. We have 870 naira, 777.82 naira in 2023. And in 2022, we had 870, we have 450.72 naira to a dollar. We are looking at both official market rate and parallel market rate as obtained over the years starting from 2019 to 2023 presently. We also have in 2021 570 naira, that is your black market, and we have 416.25 naira to a dollar. In 2020, we had 477, that is official market. We had that was a black market, and 384.17 naira official rate. We have 360 naira to 312.95 naira in as official rate to in 2019. I'll take that again. Presently, 2023, we have 870 naira in as a official rate. Sorry, as a black rate, while we have 777.82 naira as a official rate. That is what dollar goes for presently. Now we also have resident doctors begin indefinite strike. Stories on page 17 of leadership. Job racketeering, reps give FCC chair 24-hour ultimatum. Hot electricity tariff increase, lawmakers tell executive. Ministerial list ready, Senate leader confirms. After leadership reports, Benin Republic addresses multiple taxes on transit cargoes. UN summit, Nigeria gets $500 million to boost food security. Drama as DSS prison officials clash over Emefiele's rearrest. We'll go over to the page 3 of leadership newspaper for its editorial, which is our stand. Our stand today says Nigeria potential global producer of lithium battery. Nigeria potential global producer of lithium battery. That is the editorial on leadership today. We will move over to the back page of the paper where we'll have a guest column with Babafemi A. Badejo, PhD, holding the dead to ransom. Holding the dead to ransom is a must read. For more on this, just log on to the website www.leadership.ng. Ghana Must Go says no going back on withdrawal of policemen from VIPs. That is force PPRO. Inas replied, have you removed all the checkpoints? Interesting one. So for more stories, continuation of the leading stories on the leadership and inside stories, log on to the website of leadership newspaper, www.leadership.ng. From leadership, we move over to the next paper on our menu, and that is The Guardian. The Guardian has something on CBN today. Let's see what Guardian is leading with on that title. CBN on new route to inflation control raises interest on banks' deposits. CBN on new route to inflation control raises interest on banks' deposits. DSS clashes with NCS, so that is Nigerian Correction Services. NCOS rearrest Emefiele despite bail. DSS clashes with NCOS, rearrest Emefiele despite bail. Of course, on the cover of The Guardian, you have pictures of the brawl that took place yesterday. It was a brawl between DSS operatives and NCOS officials over custody of the suspended governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, after his trial at Ikoyi High Court, Lagos, yesterday. 15,000 IVF babies delivered in 130 Nigerian clinics since 1989. Fruit ripening with chemicals partly responsible for untimely deaths, NAFDAC warns. Senate Defense Ministerial list Thursday urges discourse to allow Nigerians breathe. We move over to the editorial page of The Guardian. Let's see what the editorial is saying today, Wednesday, July 26, 2023. It says, hike in Lagos building planning permit unjustifiable. Hike in Lagos building planning permit unjustifiable. From what the editorial is talking about, you have to log on to the website of the Guardian newspaper, www.guardian.ng. That's all we can take on the Guardian this Wednesday. Let's move over to the next paper we have on our menu, and that is Daily Sun. Daily Sun is leading with the Senate prepares for recess amid nonsense submission of ministers' list. Senate prepares for recess amid non-submission of ministers' list. Security agencies delay Tinubu with slow check on nominees. Senators prefer list with full security report. It will get worse in 48 hours, Bamidele. Senate prepares for recess amid non-submission of ministers' list. Security agencies delay Tinubu with slow check on nominees. Senators prefer list with full security reports. And Bamidele says it will get worse in 48 hours. And of course, we have two pictures of one of Bauchi State Governor in a symbolic test drive as he commissions 30 commercial buses as palliatives for commuters in the state over removal of fuel subsidy in Bauchi yesterday. We also have the Lagos State Governor also with the group CEO S3M IDs, Steve Babaeko, yesterday. And we have another leading story, Emefiele, DSS, prison officials in power tussle. Emefiele, DSS, prison officials in power tussle. Fight over custody of ex-CBN governor. Secret police triumph. Rearrest former Apex bank boss hours after court bail. CBN raises interest rate to 18.75%. Kogi, Imo, Bayelsa polls. INEC warns party leaders against use of thugs, harassment of election officials. Kaduna records 68 suspected diphtheria cases, 8 deaths. NAS bans discos NEC from increasing electricity price, estimated billing. Senate in rowdy session as Oshomole faces lawmakers' wrath. Beside the masthead of Daily Sun, we have federal government ASU suit, court affirms KONUA, NAMDA as trade unions. And just like the previous papers before it, we move over to the editorial page of Daily Sun to see what the editorial is on today. And of course, the editorial is on the vandalization of national assets. The vandalization of national assets. The recent vandalization of the median walkway of the newly commissioned second Niger Bridge in Onitsha, Anambra State, is condemnable, says Daily Sun's editorial. The thieves, according to reports, had cut away meter plates in the middle of the walkway and the expansion joint of the bridge. The resident engineer in charge of the project, Oluwaseyi Martins, who made the disclosure, said the incident occurred on July 5th, when the thieves stole the expansion joint walkway on axis 330 of the bridge. He further explained that the tampering with the expansion joints of the bridge could cause discomfort to motorists. It's really, really distasteful. For more on that you can log on to the website of Daily Sun newspaper for the editorial, for the headline stories, and of course for inside pages as well. You log on to the website is www.sunnynewsonline.com, www.sunnewsonline.com. From Daily Sun, we move over to the next paper on our menu, and that is Blueprint. Blueprint has stories on INEC for the forthcoming election in Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi, Guba. So Blueprint says Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi, Guba, we are worried by rising spate of violence. INEC. Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi, Guba. We are worried by rising spate of violence. INEC wants parties to call supporters to order. It's time to stop governors from pressurizing Rex EOs. IPAC. Lost prosecution of suspended Adamawa Rec. This is a leading story on Blueprint newspaper today, Wednesday, July 26, 2023. After 20 million naira bail, DSS, NCOS clash. Emefiele rearrested. The story is on page 6 of Blueprint newspaper. And of course, we have a large picture of the suspended CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, being held or dragged to the court yesterday by a female. Whether she's a DSS operative, one cannot tell. Media owners seek fair compensation from Google, Facebook, others. Media owners seek fair compensation from Google, Facebook, others. Federal government mobilizes $500 million for Nigeria's food transformation. UK court fines Indian lawyer £28 million in Ibori's corruption case. Above the headline of above these headline stories, we have court halts ASU, affirms Konoa NAMDA as trade unions. CBN raises interest rate to 18.75%. Ministerial list, Tinubu targets deadline for submission to Senate. The stories on page 5 of Blueprint newspaper. And just before, like previous papers before it, we are moving on to the editorial page of the paper. Let's see what the editorial is saying today on Blueprint newspaper. And it says, another harvest of honest deeds by Nigerians. Another harvest of honest deeds by Nigerians. Talking about the people, females actually, who returned some large amounts of foreign currencies they found in their possession. So for more on that, log on to the website of Blueprint newspaper for both headline story for continuation of the headline stories inside pages and its editorial www.blueprint.ng. From Blueprint newspaper, we move over to Vanguard. Vanguard is our newspaper on for review this morning. Vanguard says DSS men, prisons officials in free for all over Emefiele. DSS men, prisons officials in free for all over Emefiele. Court grants Emefiele 20 million naira bail. DSS rearrest him. Prisons armed squad commander manhandled. Uniform torn. Falana, others react. DSS NPS Kofu over Emefiele, unmitigated shame, Huriwa. Respect court order on Emefiele, sacking Hasawa, Northern Forum tell DSS. Because unlike other papers, you have this day the pictures of the free for all yesterday on the cover, and the Emefiele pictures too when he was being led to the court yesterday. We also have other stories. Above the masthead of Vanguard, drama as FCC. Commissioner accuses chairman of employment racketeering. Drama as FCC commissioner accuses chairman of employment racketeering. Federal government ASU suit. Court affirms Konoa NAMDA registration as trade unions. Tinubu to send ministerial list to us in 48 hours, Senate. NAS moves against electricity tariff hike, estimated billing. CBN intensifies anti-inflation effort, raises MPR to 18.75%. Stories on page 19 of Vanguard newspaper. And let's see what the commentary on is all about. Commentary is what Vanguard titles is on editorial. And its commentary today, July, is on Tinubu's food security emergency. Tinubu's food security emergency. For more on this editorial, inside stories, and the front headlines stories, log on to the website of Vanguard newspaper, www.vanguardngr.com. From Vanguard, we like to see what the nation is saying. Nation says ministers, Tinubu, Moon, San, ex-governors, technocrats, others. Ministers, Tinubu Monsan, ex-governors, technocrats, orders. Senate leader, president's list ready tomorrow. Emefiele rearrested in court after ITA agency brawl. Yeah, and just like other papers too, we have the pictures. It's actually picture that has made the cover headline story today. Both the news and the pictures made the headline on all the papers today. Emefiele rearrested in court after ITA agency brawl. Ganduje dollar case court to deliver judgment September 22. Cash surge into economy forces interest rate hike. Cash surge into economy forces interest rate hike. CBN raises it to 18.75%. Action will tame inflation. Federal government has raised $500 million for food sufficiency, say Shetima. Above the masthead, we have stories. Atiku, PDP confused, President's tribunal. NEC discos fine-tune tariffs hike plan. Senators reps oppose move. Federal government will redirect $800 million palliatives cash. ASU loses bid to stop Konoa's registration. From the nation, we move over to the Punch. Punch is fortune with Nigerians demand reforms as Tinubu submits ministerial list. The Punch newspaper leading headline story says Nigerians demand reforms as Tinubu submits ministerial list. Technocrats said to dominate list. Tinubu sought prayers to make right choice. Senate leader. NBA tax appointees on security. APC elders fume over Jonathan's move to pick Bayelsa candidates. And we have pictures of Emefiele there yesterday as he was led to court. Emefiele lawyers condemn DSS warders clash as family protests rearrest. Emefiele lawyers condemn DSS warders clash as family protests rearrest. Resident doctors begin indefinite strike today. Borno police arrest two ladies, 8 others for killing cop. Adamu Omishore met Tinubu for reconciliation, APC chieftains. Above the masthead of the Punch, we have CBN vows to tackle forest pressure, raises lending rates. This goes to return $1.2 billion for 374 projects, says NDPHC. Threats to Kogi Bayelsa Imo pose disturbing, INEC. We also move over to the editorial. Let's see what editorial is saying today on the Punch newspaper. The Punch says 10th National Assembly, beware of another rubber stamp, in quotes. 10th National Assembly, beware of another, in quote, rubber stamp. For more on that, inside stories and headline stories, you log on to the website of the Punch newspaper, www.punchng.com. From the Punch newspaper, we move over to the last paper we have on our menu, and that is This Day. This Day is dealing with DSS disobeys court order, beats up correctional officers, rearrest Emefiele. This Day, DSS disobeys court order, beats up correctional officers, rearrest Emefiele. Suspended CBN governor pleads not guilty, granted 20 million naira bail. Ezekwesili, Huriwa blast DSS over former Apex Bank governor's arraignment. Correctional officer being manhandled by DSS. We have the pictures on the cover of This Day, and of course we see the DSS tearing the garment, the uniform of the correctional officer. Article to tribunal: don't encourage violation of our constitution. And above that, we have after ousting them, Tinubu meets Adamu Omishore at State House. U.S. Embassy anti-graft group urge president to unveil master plan for corruption. Resident doctors commence indefinite strike nationwide. Above the masthead of This Day, we have CBN directs banks to lift restrictions on 440 accounts. Apex Bank resumes enforcement of LDR policy, urges banks to comply. With subsidy gone, foreign exchange unified, MPC raises MPR to 18.75% to curb inflation. Shonubi insists rate hike helping to moderate prices. Says foreign exchange volatility driven by pent-up demand, low supply. That is the leading stories on this day today. And of course, we move over to the editorial of this day. Let's see what the paper is saying on its stance editorial page. Editorial on this day says, the challenge of illegal mining. The challenge of illegal mining. The authorities could do more to stem the menace. The spate of illegal mining activities in several states, especially in the north, besides undermining the economy, has already thrown up security challenges with widespread cases of banditry, kidnapping, and community arrest. For more on that, log on to the website of This Day. We have www.thisdaylive.com for also the headline stories, continuation of the headline stories, and inside pages of This Day. Well, viewers, that was the last paper for review this morning on our menu. Until I come your way again, same time tomorrow, sorry, because unfortunately my Wednesday guest, Jide Ojo, was unavoidably absent today. My name is Winifred Ubebo. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.